Guys, remember me? I'm Spur here. And today we're going to be finally looking at my finals battle of the PSL Season 4 against Nard. Now, a short announcement before I start recording this vid. And the thing is that I have been completely out of touch with Pokemon for the last 2.5 weeks. And yeah, it's just that I've not really been feeling Pokemon as of late because stuff in real life has been way more stressing, let's just say, compared to what it was over the last year and a half. So yeah, mods haven't really been my biggest priority, and I guess you can figure that out from my upload schedule as well, which is completely non-existent at this point. Like I haven't been uploading my CPL games. I did not upload this match until now, and yeah, it's just been one real big mess. And more on that later after we complete this vid. But here we are finally with our finals match. And yeah, so so instead of like going through his team separately, I decided I'll just show you right here. So his team consists of a Thunderous Incarnate, Mamoswine, Decidueye, Haxorus, Venomoth, Steelix, Mega Volcanion, Azumarill, Empoleon, Slurpuff, and yeah, I must yeah, this is a very offensive team. I like that. The part that I don't like is that there's a very offensive team with an excellent matchup against mine. Like, yeah, seriously, I can't think of even one Mon here that has a bad matchup against me. Okay, maybe the Steelix to some extent, but no, not even that. Steelix doesn't die to Flare Blitz from an Infernape. It doesn't die to any one hit from a Kyurem Black, apart from maybe Z Ice Beam or Z Blizzard. And yeah, basically, it can take one hit and can retaliate hard. And just apart from that, like this Venomoth absolutely kills my entire team because my best answer to Venomoth happens to be Skarmory. But if that gets put to sleep, it's GG. It's GG because then it just sets up twice, two Quiver Dancers, and after that, nothing can really catch up with it on my team. Same thing with the Haxorus. If Haxorus gets out of hand, like I was expecting sort of like a Dragon Dance, Dragon Tail set, so that he can phase out my Skarmory before my Skarmory can phase out his Haxorus. And if it's stuff like that and he phases me out into the right Mon, basically if he gets up to +2 speed, again it's GG for me. There's nothing I can do at that point. Same thing with Decidueye. Physical Decidueye was not really much of a problem for me. The special Decidueye, however, with like Nasty Plot and Tailwind up, like Nasty Plot, Tailwind, Shadow Ball, and Leaf Storm or Energy Ball, whatever he runs, that shit is going to blow me back again. Mamoswine is Mamoswine. Like that stab combination with that power is just obscene to deal with. Like again, Skarmory is going to be my only Mon that can possibly deal with it. But what Skarmory cannot deal with is a Thunderous Incarnate because yeah, Thundi is just going to make it. Thundi lands Taunt, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. So something like Taunt, Nasty Plot will completely ruin my what's it called, Skarmory. Going lower down the order, Mega Gallade. Oh my god, Mega Gallade. This thing punishes my entire team. I have literally one Mon that can deal with Mega Gallade. And you know what Mon it is because I've brought it previously in the season as well for dealing with this Mega Gallade, and that is my Mesprit, which you'll also see in my team builder. Volcanion, oh my god, he's been running Flame Charge Volcanion all season, and that Flame Charge Volcanion can just wreck me. Like, depending on what 3 moves he's running, he can just destroy my entire team. Like, let's see, he has to run Sludge Wave because otherwise it doesn't beat Feeny. Steam Eruption comes because Steam Eruption is undoubtedly his strongest hitting move, or it doesn't really have to come because what does it hit super effectively? The Infernape. And what else? What else? I don't have a rock type in my team. My ground type. Oh yeah, the crocodile. Oh, so yeah, I guess he can bring that. And depending on his last move, if it is Focus Blast, goodbye Kyurem Black. If it is Fire Blast, still goodbye Kyurem Black because modest Fire Blast I think kills Kyurem Black after rocks. So that's bad. Azumarill, he's not been bringing a lot, but this thing has a really good matchup against me. Like, if it gets one belly drum up, it's GG for me at that point. I have one Mon that deals with both of Azumarill stabs, and that is my Vileplume. However, if he's running Ice Punch, I can't really do much about it. So there's that. Even fucking offensive Empoleon had a good matchup against me. Like stuff like maybe Agility with like Agility, Hydro Pump, Flash Cannon, Ice Beam. You'll be like, wait a second, that set gets hardwalled by Feeny. No, it does not. It does 37%. It does roughly 37% to Spadef Feeny. So with a modest nature, of course. So if Feeny switches in on rocks, takes that shit, so that's like 49% gone in one hit. And what can Feeny do in return to Empoleon? I don't know, just knock off Nature's madness, I guess. So Feeny can get it down to about 50% of its health, lower than 50% because of the life of recoil. So maybe like 30%, 25%. But in that meantime, my Feeny would be gone. And Feeny is like a defensive switch into a big part of his team, like Icicle Crash from Mamoswine, Close Combat from Galade, Volcanion in its entirety. It'll have to do a few switching rounds. And the final one is Slurpuff again. Just I wasn't too afraid about the Belly Drum one because I had a feeling he wouldn't bring that against a team with Skarmory. I was more so afraid of a Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Flamethrower variant. So like Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Flamethrower, and maybe like I don't know, maybe Sticky Webs, I guess, or Endeavor in the last slot. Just to reduce my whatever counter I sent it to in to low HP. So anyway, yeah, as you can see, this was a pretty rough matchup for us. So I decided to just, I was like, okay, fuck it. I don't have defensive measures for his entire team. So my best course of action would be to build a strong offensive team and try to keep momentum throughout the match by playing aggressively. So that was the plan while going into this team builder. So wait, now let me just get rid of this picture because this is blocking my EV spreads. How do I remove this? Yeah, it's gone. So anyway, yeah, the first one on my team is going to be my Kyurem Black with Icing Z Hail, Flash Cannon, Fusion Bolt, and Ice Beam. Now, what Z-Hail does is, you know already what Z-Hail does. Z-Hail increases speed by 1 stage, and the reason I wanted to do this instead of going for a Scarf Kyurem Black is because I didn't want to get choice locked into any one attack. If I got locked into Ice Beam, that's set up for his Azumarill. If I get locked into Fusion Bolt, what's his ground type again? What was his ground type again? Oh fuck, I've already forgotten that. Yeah, just a second. So as you can see, yeah, the professionalism on this channel hasn't changed one bit. So yeah, give me some time while I figure out what his ground type was. Even though I literally just watched I discussed his team a few minutes ago. Okay, never mind. It was the Mamoswine and the Steelix. So yeah, if I get locked into Fusion Bolt, that's an easy switch in for Mamoswine, and that's not something you'd want to do, especially when it can fire off stab attacks from that attack stat. Yeah, Flash Cannon. Okay, so let me just discuss this set. Flash Cannon is here because it hits quite a few mons on his team for super effective damage, especially the Slurpuff, which can try switching in on the Kyurem Black to take its Dragon Stab, which I'm not carrying at all. Flash Cannon also hits the Mamoswine super effectively, although to be honest, yeah, because of Terravolt, Ice Beam does a decent chunk to Mamoswine anyway. But still, Flash Cannon is good to have for super effective damage, and I think after 2 rounds of Stealth Rock damage, Flash Cannon does guaranteed kill a Mamoswine, if I'm not wrong. Fusion Bolt is there just for the Azumarill and no, wait a second, he had 3 water types. Who were they? Azumarill, Empoleon, what was the third? The Volcanion, yeah. So it hits all 3 of those super effectively. Ice Beam is there for the main form of stab, and with Modest Nature coming off 252 special attack, is going to hit KO the Steelix before Steelix can 2-hit KO me with Heavy Slam. So that's it for Kyurem Black because I needed the speed on the Kyurem Black in the late game to clean up, and if I get enough damage off on the Mega Galade, I can just clean him up at that point. So that's something we'll do. The next mod on my team is going to be my switch into his Azumarill, and yeah, this is not a mistake. This was no item intentionally because what's the most common set that Azumarills run? Belly Drum, Aqua Jet, Play Rough, and the 4th move slot is usually Knockoff. See, because how likely is he to run Ice Punch over Knockoff? Because he has to think about taking out my entire team, right? And if he's running Aqua Jet, +6 Aqua Jet does not break past Skarmory. +6 Play Rough does not break past Skarmory. +6 Knockoff, however, just blows away Skarmory. So I at least thought before going into the match that that Knockoff was a better option for him than Ice Punch, considering my entire team. So what's the best way of reducing Knockoff damage? Well, don't carry an item. So that's what I did with this Vileplume. I didn't carry an item. And as far as moveset, it's pretty standard. It's just a standard Vileplume set from NU. Sleep Powder, Strength Sap, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, pretty self-explanatory. Sleep Powder to put something on his team to sleep. Especially since his entire team had a good matchup against me. I tried to handpick the 6 or 7 mons he might bring, which had the best matchup against me. And I figured that Decidueye is kind of unlikely, even though that Nasty Plot set just ruins me. I still thought he would try something else because there are mons that what should I say, like ruin me even more. So yeah, I think Sleep Powder was pretty free against him. So was Strength Sap because some of his mons have such a high attack stat that I will be able to gain back most of my health from them. Sludge Bomb is my main form of stab. Giga Drain is for gaining back health because I didn't really need anything else in these 2 slots. Now, as far as spread, this EV spread was for, what was it for again? I think this was meant to take 1 Zen Headbutt from Adamant, what's it called? Mega Gallade without dying, so I can put it to sleep, and that would help out my Kyurem Black later on. This would also take Banded Ice Punch. Yeah, it definitely takes Banded Ice Punch. Banded Ice Punch did way less than what this meant. This was for something else as well. I guess this is what happens when you record your vids like after a whole age after the match is done. Rest was put into Spadef in case I need to take some special hits. But yeah, this deals with +6 player up, I guess. +6 player up never knocks me out. Plus his player never knocked me out regardless. So I can't really remember what this exact 216 defense EV was for. I don't really remember. Anyway, you guys are probably used to this by now if you've been a regular visitor on my channel. Now again, my typical Mega Gallade switch in always going to be my Mesprit with Cold Berry. However, this time I am not running that Thunderwave, what's it called? What's the remaining? Thunderwave foul play thing that I used to run earlier. Not foul play. This thing doesn't learn foul play. Oopsie does. What was the other thing that I learned? Dazzling Gleam, yeah. So this time it's going to be a Trick Room, Calm Mind, Shadow Ball, Psychic set. Because just look at his team and see how fast it is in general. Like, oh god damn, this cell phone starts ringing every time I start recording a vid. Nothing changes, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, the entire team of his is quite fast. And one more thing worth noticing about his team is the fact that it did not have a single Ghost Resist. So if I could get a Calm Mind up, if I could set up Trick Room, if I could fire off a few Shadow Balls, I think I could weaken a Mon or 2. Even if I don't pick up any kills, if I can weaken a few of his Mons and leave it so that they are in range of my endgame cleaners, that is good enough for me. So anyway, the set is Shadow Ball and the attacking moves are Shadow Ball and Psychic. Shadow Ball because just as I said, he did not have any Ghost Resist on his team. And Psychic because, well, it's his strongest hitting move, stab move. His defensive investment is 248 HP, 140 defense. I cannot remember what this 140 defense was for. I think it did allow me to live 2 throat chops from. I think it was, yeah, it was for that. It allowed me to live 2 throat chops from Mega Gallade. Because I figured he'd be bringing Throat Chop over Knockoff since I have a Silvally Ghost on my team, which will take less damage from Knockoff anyway. So I expected him to bring Throat Chop this match. And anyway, the rest was put into special attack with a modest nature just for maximum power behind its hits, you know. The next Mon on my team is going to be Demon that carried me through the semi-final the last time I had a bad matchup. And that's going to be my Choice Scarf Infernape, pretty standard set. Flare Blades, Close Combat, Earthquake, U-Turn. Blitz and Combat are its stab moves. U-Turn is to get the hell out of there because every time I'm going to switch in and bring in this Infernape, he's more likely than not to go out into his Azumarill. So this was meant for that. And the Earthquake was there to just to, you know, clean up weekend stuff in the late game. Like the... what's it called? Why am I stuttering so much? The Steelix, weaken Mamoswine, really weaken Haxorus. There's something else I'm missing. Yeah, the Volcanion and the Empoleon. Even the Thundurus. Oh, okay, you're like, why would a Thundurus be hit by Earthquake? I'll show you that in a second. As for its spread, it had enough speed to outspeed his max speed, what's it called, Haxorus, because there was nothing in that speed tier between a Haxorus and a Mega Gallade, so I'm like, okay, fuck it, no point in giving it extra EVs in speed. Max attack for max power, rest was put into HP to hit an odd number, and the last 4 points were put into spread, because yeah, why not? Not like I'll need it anyway. The next Mon on my team was my Manectric. with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, HP Grass, and Flamethrower. Now, the reason I'm running HP Grass over HP Ice is that hitting the is because I prioritized hitting the Mamoswine more than the what's it called? The Haxorus, yeah. I prioritize hitting the Mamoswine more than it because Mamoswine can get a free switch in against Mega Manectric. So if I predict that switch in and I go for HP Grass, Mamo gets 2-hit KO'd at that point. So this will be really useful. Flamethrower was there to 2-hit KO any form of Steelix that he might want to bring. It also helped to deal with the Decidueye, although if it's a specially defensive Decidueye, which I don't think makes any sense against my team, because that thing doesn't really match up very well against stuff like Infernape, stuff like Micro and Black. So if he was going to bring Decidueye, it was definitely going to be an offensive one. Anyway, yeah, Flamethrower was just good coverage. Thunderbolt and Volt Switch are pretty self-explanatory. Thunderbolt is the strongest stab move. Volt Switch is the priority move, which I'm going to click most of the times anyway. As for its spread, these speed EVs allowed me to outspeed +1 Volcanion because, as I said, he's been running Flame Charge Volcanion a lot throughout this season, and the Speed Charge Volcanion hits a maximum speed even with Timid Nature of 393. So I decided to go 394, but even then, yeah, honestly, if he was going to run Flame Charge Volcanion, I think he was going to go with Modest Nature with it. So I could have done with less speed and more bulk, but it is what it is. Anyway, max special attack for max power, and the rest was just put into HP. Now, this is a special set right here, the Tapu Fini set. Now, this is a specially defensive Tapu Fini with the HP, the defense investment to take something which I don't remember, as always. I think it was for Poison Jab, to take +2 Poison Jab from Mega Gallade, but don't quote me on that. I could be massively wrong. As far as okay, I'll talk about this Iron Ball in a second. But first, as far as moveset, it's pretty standard. Defog, Ice Beam, Nature's Madness, trick. Okay, Ice Beam. This is the first time I'm running Ice Beam on Tapu Fini throughout the season, and that is because I figured that his Thundurus Therian is gonna want to come in on this Tapu Fini and try to set up on it or kill it. So I can go for Ice Beam, and Ice Beam 2-hit KOs any offensive Thundurus Incarnate that he might want to bring. Nature's Madness is there for the chip damage because I figured I couldn't really do anything else to the Empoleon and the Volcanion anyway. So I just weaken them with Nature's Madness, put them in range of my Manectric, my Kyurem Black, and my Infernape for the late game. Now this Iron Ball trick. Okay, as I said earlier, that my only mon on my team that really deals with his Quiverdan's Venomoth is going to be my Skarmory. But the thing with Skarmory is it was already overburdened with the stuff on his team. Like between Haxorus, Mamoswine, Azumarill, Physical Decidueye, what one am I missing? Mega Gallade, Offensive Steelix. Like, yeah, that's just 6 mons I counted that all of them have only one check on my team, and that is my Skarmory. So it was already overburdened anyway, and to put in so at that point basically what it would have been just taunt bait. So one timely taunt and my Skarmory just turns into setup fodder at that point. Like the Thundurus Therian learned taunt, the Haxorus learned taunt. So if any of them clicks taunt, it's over. It's over for my Skarmory. So I just decided to not bring Skarmory at all. Instead, I just decided to bring a completely offensive team to try and overwhelm him with my offense before he does overwhelm me with his offense. As for again, Iron Ball trick. So this was meant to deal with his Venomoth. How you might say? Because surprisingly enough, +1 Venomoth with Life Orb does not kill Tapu Fini from full with this specially defensive investment with Sludge Bomb as well. So what I can do is it cannot put Tapu Fini to sleep because of the Misty Terrain, right? So what it can do is it can try to set up on this Fini because, well, what can a Fini do in turn to a Venomoth? Absolutely nothing. So what I'll do is I'll trick the Iron Ball onto him and that will slow him down. And at that point, I can just keep chipping him away with Nature's Madness, which will force him to attack me. Now, as long as he doesn't get up to +5 speed, like as long as it doesn't keep clicking Quiver Dance 5 times, I can just bring in my Infernape after he kills the Tapu Fini, and I can kill him back with Flare Blades. That's that. Now you might want to ask, Will, why did you go for Iron Ball instead of a lagging tail? Because lagging tail just forces you to move after your opponent, right? The reason is because there is one more mon on his team that could want to set up on me on this Tapu Fini, and that was a Thunderous. So if I could trick the Iron Ball onto a Thunderous, that thing is grounded, and that thing can then be killed by Earthquake from Infernape in the late game. So that thing would have been really useful. Although, but then again, I think it was kind of necessary on my part because doesn't it die to Flare Blitz after some chip damage anyway? Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, these are the sets that I brought for the match. Now let us move on to the actual match itself. Okay, why am I here? I should be in the other way around. Yep. So, looking at this match, he did not bring the Venomoth, and that was so nice for me because I just didn't want to deal with it whatsoever. Other than that, it was the usual suspects: the Thundurus, the Mamo, the Mega Gallade, this thing, Azumarill, the Slurpuff, the Haxorus. So I'm like, all right. As I said, my plan was to start off this match aggressively and keep like clutching on to that momentum for the rest of the match. So if I had to do that, I had to start off with an offensive mon basically. So if I start off with something like Feeny or something like what's it called, Vileplume, I gave him the initiative at that point. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have the initiative myself. So I decided to start off with the fastest mon on my team, which was going to be my Infernape. Now, he leads off with his Haxorus here, which tells me that usually lead Haxoruses are either like some sort of cheesy setup set, like Sash setup or like Taunt setup. I think the fact that he led off with this was kind of telling me that this might be Taunt so that he could prevent rocks going up with my Mesprit. I think that might have been his plan. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I just didn't change it at all. I'm sorry. I'll just go back to it for a second. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, I'm kind of out of touch with this. So yeah, again, I'll go through this again. The six monsters he brought were Thunderous, the Mamoswine, Mega Gallade, Azu, Slurpuff, and Haxorus. I brought my Kyurem Black, Vileplume, Mesprit, Infernape, Mega Manectric, and Tapu Fini. So yeah, as I said, I wanted to lead off with my fastest mon to try and get the initiative before he did. So I led off with my Infernape as he led off with his Haxorus. Now the fact that he led off with Haxorus was telling me that this is either a banded Haxorus to just pummel anything in its path into dust, or it was a Taunt variant or a Dragon Tail variant to set up to prevent rocks from my Mesprit. So I decided that either way, my close combat can't kill this Haxorus because I am not running Choice Band. If I was Choice Band, it would have just Choice Band or even Life Orb, I guess. Yeah, Life Orb in close combat as well. It would have blown Haxorus right out the water. But I'm none of those things, so I don't want to take an Earthquake to my face. So instead, I decide to just go for the U-turn. As he switches out into his Azumarill, which is quite understandable. Azumarill resists everything that I'd want to go for. So he went out into that U-turn. Now the fact that he did not stay in with Haxorus on Infernape, which he could kill with Earthquake, tells me that he is most probably not a Scarf Haxorus. Although it might just well be the fact that he expected me to be Scarf and he knew that I was never going to stay in anyway on a Haxorus, so he predicted me to U-turn, and that's why he went out into his Azumarill. It could be that as well, but anyway, I don't care. I just go out into my Vileplume, which was always going to be my dedicated switch into this. So I see he does not have a sleep powder immunity, and I just go for the sleep powder and put this thing to sleep. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to this, so I have to go out into my Tapu Fini right now. Yeah, because Tapu Fini is still having to take electric type attacks from Thundurus, even in 2019. So I tried to trick my Iron Ball onto it because, as I said, I wanted to slow this down and I want to slow this down and make it grounded so I can kill it with Infernape. But my trick actually failed, so that showed me that this is definitely a Z user. So the Z move that I was fearing was Fightinium Z, because that could blow back my Crocodile, my Kyurem Black, and my Licky, which were my three best defensive answers to the Thundurus. So I decided to, okay, whatever, I will just go for an Ice Beam. So he goes for the sub, expecting me to switch out here, but I just go for the Ice Beam and break his sub. And so I'm like, okay, you can attack me if you want to. I don't really care. I just want to weaken you. I want to get rid of you. Yeah, and I go for the Ice Beam and I bring him down to 50%. So at this point, it was a 50-50. Like, would he kill me or would he go for the sub? So I thought that he would try to kill me here because he wouldn't want to lose his Thunderous at this point. So yeah, I go out into my Manectric to take his hit as he does indeed go for the substitute. So I'm like, well, can't do anything about it. So I fear his Z Focus Blast at this point, and I'm like, I'm not staying in on this bitch. I go out of here. So I Volt Switch out, and I go out into Feeny because I'm like, yeah, Feeny is too weak at this point to be able to do anything anyway. And I take his Hidden Power, and that Hidden Power is too little. So I'm like, wait a second, and that was not resisted either. So it's definitely not Hidden Power Ice. It's not Hidden Power Grass because it's not super effective. What is this? What hidden power is this then? I'm not sure. Was it hidden power fire for the no, hidden power fire would have been resisted as well. So at that point I couldn't really make out what this hidden power was. So anyway, I just stay in and I decide to sack off my Feeny anyway. Now he goes for the Z move. I'm like, wait, what Z move is this? And he wastes all out pummeling here, which is so nice because now he can't use all out pummeling on my Kyurem Black. And I'm like, yes, I get rid of the Thundurus. So I'm one up. Oh my god. So I'm like, okay, this Mamoswine comes in now. Mamoswine can be a big problem for me later in the game. I need to scout out what this Mamoswine is. So I'm like, okay, if he gets up rocks, he gets up rocks. I can't do anything about it. I'll just trick him my item and we'll take the game out from there. As he turns out to be a never melt ice variant. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, I was kind of surprised, but then I was not as surprised either because he has run Adamant Earth Power, or not Earth Power, Adamant Earth Plate earlier in the season. So because of the power that it provides without giving away your item, so that's a good strategy. So I thought he might be doing something like that as well. So like Adamant Icicle Crash to do more damage to my Skarmory. Like, okay, yeah, you can just kill me right now. He goes for the Aisha, and that definitely picks off my Tapu Fini at 0%. I'm okay, yeah, rocks are not the biggest problem in the world for me. I go on to Infernape because close combat just blows his ass back unless he's Choppal. And he was not Choppal because I gave him my Iron Ball. Now he goes out into his Azumarill. Like, okay, I have a dedicated switch into Azumarill. I'm not bothered at all. So I switch out into my Vileplume again, as the Azumarill just switches out into his Haxorus because he knew that I was not going to stay in there. So I'm like, okay, Haxorus is in. I'm going to put this to sleep, and it does reveal the taunt. I'm like, no, I went for the Strength Sap here. I'm sorry, not the sleep. I should have gone for the sleep anyway. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, now this thing is going to set up Dragon Dance, but fortunately, Mesprit does have some bulk, so it can take a few hits before it goes down. So he goes for Swords Dance instead. I'm like, okay, what? Doesn't Swords Dance get revenged by Infernape anyway? Why would you bring Swords Dance against me? Later he revealed that the Swords Dance was just meant to break past my Skarmory, as you'll see. Anyway, he goes for Taunt on my Mesprit, expecting it to be a defensive Mesprit, but I turn out to be quite an offensive one, and Psychic does 64%. At that point, he did not even have Dragon Claw. I'm like, what the hell is this? And why frustration of all things? I don't know what the frustration was for. I guess doing damage to the Feeny, just basically doing all around good damage to my team. I'm not sure what that was for. But anyway, I kill him with the Psychic, and at this point I have all the momentum in the world on my side because I got rid of 2 of his most threatening mons, and if I can just get up a Z-Hail somehow, the rest of his 3 of his mons just fall over at that point. I just need to weaken this Mega Gallade right now, and if it's a Jolly Mega Gallade, I am out of his, and because I was expecting Shadow Sneak from Mega Gallade in this match, because against a close combat spamming Infernape, Shadow Sneak could make all the difference in the world. I was expecting an SD, close combat, throat chop, shadow sneak set. So I was like, okay, he goes for the sneak here, right? Or he goes for throat chop. If he goes for throat chop, I can't help it. If he goes for sneak though, I might live. He mega evolves and he goes for the sneak and gets a goddamn crit. God damn it. But yeah, it didn't really matter because later he revealed that he was adamant. So if he was adamant, then it didn't really matter at all because adamant was a guaranteed kill with shadow sneak from 28%. Anyway, he kills me off as I go, so he kills me off here and I go out into my Manectric to get off the Intimidate. Now the thing is that I get off the intimidate, and I know he's not going to stay in anymore because with -1 attack, Mega Garrett cannot break past Mega Manectric before I kill him in turn. So he's definitely going to switch, right? He's going to switch out into his Mamoswine. But then I had HP Grass clicked at this point. Then I was like, okay, wait a second. What if he is a bulk of Drain Punch variant? Like, wait a second, that shit can just fuck me up. What if he's like a specially what if he's like bulky, specially defensive with bulk up and drain punch? I'm like, oh shit, that thing can just fuck me up because he can go for bulk up, he can lift two thunderbolts, and then he can drain punch back all the health. I'm like, wait, that shit is bad. That shit is bad because at that point he's just going to clean sweep my team, and I can do nothing about it. So I was like, okay, no, it's better if I just deal with what I have in front of me. So I go for the Thunderbolt. As he doesn't it go out into a Mamoswine, this will turn out to be such a huge turn because if I went for the HP Grass here, if I had just gone for the HP Grass here, as you'll find out in a few seconds, that he turns out to be special Mamoswine with Ice Beam. Like, no, because if I had gone for HP Grass, I would have guaranteed outsped him again on the next turn, and I would have just killed him with another HP Grass. And at that point, my Azumarill would have been at full health, which would have been really vital later in the game, as you'll see. But anyway, yeah, I go out into my my Vileplume because the other three mons weren't there to take hits from it. They were to hit out. So I have to sack off my Vileplume, but I'm like, okay, no problem. I can still win this match, right? If I play it right with my Kyurem Black right now, I can still win this. So I go on to Kyurem Black. I'm like, wait, there's no way this Mamoswine is staying in right here. There's no way that this is going to happen right now. Because it just doesn't make any sense. If he has Ice Shard, Ice Beam, I don't know. Even if his last move is Earthquake, he just gets killed by any attacking, not any attacking move. Like maybe a Dragon Stab would kill him, but that's it. Or even Ice Beam, or like Specs Ice Beam would kill him as well. So I expected him to switch. Now, what was his most likely switch? The Azumarill. But the thing is that what would he achieve by going into a Zoomer? Because all it would take is an Ice Beam to the face, which would do like 18-20%, and then he would die to a Fusion Bolt anyway. Or if he would try to pivot out from there back into the Mamoswine, all that would achieve is extra damage on this Azumarill. So I figured his most likely switch in was going to be the Mega Gallade. So I clicked Z Ice Beam at first. But the thing is that, yeah, I kind of choke here and I go for the Z Hail instead. So yeah, although I didn't really need the speed at this point, I just needed to break past him. Like, well, this Mega Gallade is in and I can't do anything about this, so I think I've lost this match right now. Anyway, yeah, I just go for an Ice Beam just to get as much damage on this as I can. And luckily I get a freeze. I get a freeze on this Mega Gallade. I'm like, wait, right from the first day of PSL Season 1 to the semi-finals of PSL Season 4, I have never won by hacks against any of my opponents in PSL. Like my luck with RNG in PSL has been absolutely shit over the last 4 seasons. I mean, yeah, it's not absolutely shit, but it's definitely better than what Lavi's luck is, but yeah, it's not much good either. Like I can count on one hand right now all the matches that I've lost due to hacks. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of matches, like 5-6 matches at least, that I've lost due to hacks. But on the other hand, I've never really won because of hacks. So when I froze this Mega Gallade, I'm like, wait a second. RCS has finally looked up at me. I'm like, wait, I think this is going to be my turn. This is going to be my season. I knew it. I just had that feeling at that point that, yeah, I'm going to finally win a championship at this point. So yeah, this Mega Gallade was frozen. I know one more Ice Beam takes it out. Yeah, the hail damage, that does not matter. He just wakes up next turn and goes for a Shadow Sneak for the chip, which is understandable because Ice Beam would have killed him anyway. As I go for the Ice Beam and I pick him off, I'm like, wait, I have a chance to win this thing now. Bring in whatever you have to. Mamoswine, oh, you get 2-hit KO'd by Flash Cannon. Flash does 286. He goes for Ice Beam, which does a decent chunk, not gonna lie. And that puts me in range of Aqua Jet from the what's it called, Azumarill. But I don't care. I get rid of 2 of his mons, because even if Azumarill comes in right now, Thunderbolt from Mega Manectric will guaranteed kill that thing. It's in. Aqua Jet kills me. I'm like, wait, doesn't matter. Mega Manectric has this in the bag. Mega Manectric comes in, Thunderbolt, it's over. 3 Thunderbolts, GG. Is over at that point. And he goes for the Aqua Jet and he crits me. No! My God. No, the one time that I thought RNG was going to help me out. Yeah, right. But anyway, yeah, I guess this was fair for Leonard as well because he didn't deserve to get frozen by my Kieran Black because at that point he could have just gone for the close combat, killed it. I would have had to go out into my Manectric and I would have had to play that 50-50 and that Thunderbolt HP Grass 50-50 again. And yeah, given the way I was playing this day, I would have probably lost it 50-50 and lost that game anyway. Uh, so yeah, it is what it is. He kills me with Aqua Jet, a crit Aqua Jet, mind you. And at this point, there's no chance in hell that my and yeah, the fact that this killed me with a crit Aqua Jet told me that this was definitely banded as well. It was not the belly drum set that I was afraid of. So I go out into my Infernape knowing that there is no chance of me living this, as I do not indeed. And yeah, we cannot win a trophy for the life of us, it seems. But anyway, yeah, good game to Leonard. Like after the match, we were revealing, like when we were discussing the sets that we brought. Like it was clear, like this man had prepped so hard for my team. Like he prepped way more than my team. So I guess the fact that he won instead of me, I guess he deserved it more as well. Like he put in more. It's like yeah, the thing that he had the matchup advantage is true, but at the same time, just having the matchup advantage is not enough. Like if you don't bring the right mons and if you don't bring the right sets. And in my opinion, I still don't agree with him not bringing the Venomoth because he won by 2-0. If he had brought Venomoth, he would have probably won 6-0 against me. But anyway, yeah, he won regardless, so it didn't matter. Anyway, yeah, his sets were on point this day. I didn't agree with the adamant nature on the Mega Gallade, but yeah, he revealed to me that it was just meant to be a wall breaker. Like the entire team was just meant to wall break to the point where Banded Aqua Jet and the Slurpuff. Okay, so the Slurpuff was this set that he had brought earlier in the season as well. So it was this Cotton Guard, Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, and some random bullshitty Calm Mind. Yeah, Cotton Guard, Calm Mind, Draining Kiss. There was some random ass fourth move as well. I think that was Flamethrower. Yeah. Anyway, he had brought it set earlier in the season as well. So yeah, I was not surprised at all that he brought it again. So yeah, I guess. Yeah, can't really do much about it. Anyway, good game to Leonard. And as for now, I have a few things to talk about here. The thing is, yeah, as I was saying before the match, the fact is that given the way things are going in life right now, I'm not really sure. The thing is that I haven't really played Mons in the last week. Yeah, except for those 3 or 4 monotype matches. Because yeah, we are having a fun little monotype tournament in the PSL server right now, and that got me in the mood to play some monotype as well. So I was playing some monotype on the ladder, and it was fun. But yeah, other than that, like just playing draft format seriously week after week. Like here's the thing: like when you don't enjoy something, it becomes a chore to you. And that's what Mons had become for me. Like since the turn of this year, or not really turn of this year, like since like mid-January, I guess. That's when all the trouble started appearing in my life, and yeah, it's been kind of stressful over the last month and a half. So Mons haven't really been my biggest priority. And they aren't really my biggest priority either at this moment, which kind of shows in the fact that I haven't uploaded CPL over the last 2 weeks, which I will sometime in the future. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to make promises anymore because I keep breaking them as it is, at least promises with regards to my upload schedule. I don't really know if I'll be back for PSL season 5 either. I do have a plan. I do have 2 draft plans ready because like everyone was discussing draft plans in the chat, and then that kind of got me hyped, and I made up 2 draft plans on spot and I sent them to Silver, and I was like, Silver, does this look good? And then Silver did his Silver things, like yeah, he analyzed those drafts, and yeah, that was that. But yeah, I'm still not sure if I'm going to be back for PSL season 5. But even if I'm not, you can expect some PSL related content on this channel. Like even if I'm not, there's probably going to be a draft analysis vid on my channel, like draft analysis for the other teams. But yeah, don't take my word for it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. It's just that I think I'm going to do it. There's that. There's going to be the playoff picture vid I'll definitely make because I really had a lot of fun making that vid. And the format is ready as well, so it won't really be a lot of work either. There's that. And apart from that, yeah, I don't really know what type of content I'll be doing in future, or if I'll be making any content at all in the future. But anyway, guys, I request you to stick around on this channel. because just in case that I do join PSL, I will definitely be recording next season as well. Although I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure when I'm going to upload those. Yeah. The only reason I actually got down to recording this right now is because the lights are out in my room. It's 4:20 in the morning. Yeah, 4:20. Yeah, great timing in the morning, and I have literally nothing else to do because I'm sweating all over right now. It's like 35 degrees in here. Yeah, I had nothing to do, so I decided like, well, let's just get done with the pending vid anyway. So anyway, guys, if you had fun watching this, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time. So goodbye.